Call Magic, Volume 657.
You're listening to a podcast called Despite What You Might Think Based on That, Good Luck High Five.
I'm one of your hosts, DJ Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, DJ Megan.
And I am here as well, and my name is Tyler. And I said when I said that, it kind of sounded like I didn't want to be here, but actually, I'm really happy to be here.
Oh,
Tyler,
wonderful.
welcome back after getting fired after the last
I know,
Yeah,
that's why I'm so happy,
it's a
because
little
I
rough
got
for
fired.
you.
But I'm saying,
Yeah.
it was, as I said in the Discord, it did kind of relieve me because there's nothing more difficult to handle than being in a state of pure joy, because you are truly vulnerable to almost anything that can happen, because you have opened yourself up to the universe and its flow, and so anything can enter into you and will. So I was happy to be shut down in that way and closed off again, so that I could just gestate a little bit, and now I'm back to feeling joyful again. So it's
amazing.
All right, it's a
journey,
cycle. It's
I'm
a
so
cycle
glad.
for you.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, thank you.
If you were DJs, what would your DJ names be? Is the question I'm going to open the up with today. I ask because I used to be a DJ and definitely had a non-terrible DJ name. Just kidding. It was awful. I DJ'd for a time under the name Maria Monroe in Duluth, Minnesota.
Wait, what? Can I ask what inspired the Monroe part?
It was given to me by the station. I won a contest for being an on-air personality.
Okay, well, that's cool.
And I got a shift. It was Sunday evenings. So, the money shift is what we call that one in the business.
When everyone's listening.
The drive home from
somewhere, the grocery store to get them popsicles. Yeah, that's where I was.
Why is it popsicles?
Because it's like your Sunday late night. You're like, I need a snack before the Sunday scaries get me.
And then popsicles.
And I'm on the radio to help you out with that.
Yes.
Making the playlist too alternative, and that's why I was fired.
Shit.
Whoa. I feel like you shouldn't be able to fire a contest winner.
Yeah.
It was really because Clear Channel bought the station. They fired everybody.
You won a contest to be fired.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a job, and then we're going to fire you from it. Congratulations.
Great while it lasted, I have to say. One brief, beautiful summer when I was in college.
Shoot.
Okay, so answer the question, you two.
I guess I'll have to go with my high school nickname. I've never had a DJ name, but my high school nickname was Millsy with a Z.
Ooh, yeah, like that.
So
Like
DJ
that.
Millsy.
Millsy coming at you.
That's a great DJ name.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. Megan.
I have two answers.
Great.
My first one is DJ Little Paws.
That's excellent. I mean, excellent. You just can imagine those little paws, kind of working the turntable a little bit. Like that's.
They're obviously little raccoon paws,
Yeah, of course.
kitty paws. Changing the records
Oh my
changing
God.
It does take them a
Little
little longer.
paws.
It does take them a little longer
And
to change the
sometimes the
records.
scratching is not intentional.
Yeah,
No.
and it's permanent.
Yeah. Okay.
I suppose seriously it would be like Mega Wolf.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool. That's a cool
that's a good
DJ
one, too,
name.
yeah.
That's straightforward.
You reminded me. Your little pause comment reminded me, Megan. Last week was your birthday, and I forgot your present. But this
Oh my
week,
God, I'm gonna
It's
live
here.
open it on show.
it's been a while since we had a live present opening on
this is good.
on this podcast.
Oh my
I'm excited
God.
for this.
I would say it's been years.
I'm so excited and also nervous.
Yes, that is the correct
it being
emotion
here.
I want you to have. So there is your customary.
My God.
Amazing. Talk about a mega
How
wolf.
is each one the best one yet?
Yeah.
I know, every year-
How is each one the best one?
I get Megan a wolf shirt of some description. This one I was looking for a cute wolf crop, and it came out
Yes.
it came out smaller than I expected.
No,
but
it's
Man, it looks
perfect.
great.
It's perfect, and I love these wolves.
It's good for-
It's the classic three wolf moon.
three
Yep,
wolf
three
moon
wolf moon.
shirt.
Three wolf
Two
moon.
Absolutely.
howling, one stoic.
One stoic.
Yeah.
As every pack.
Tag
every
yourself.
pack
Yeah, the
must
ever
have.
pack must have that one stoic wolf. Yeah.
So true.
Raccoon Daddy. This is
In this part says learning toilet exclamation point.
it's a precious daddy moment. Brush time. Brush time.
Oh my gosh.
I think
Wait.
You
there's
need
so
to
many good.
explain what this is, Megan.
Yeah, I mean, well,
I
can
don't-
it be explained to
I
them?
don't know that I can.
Great point.
I don't know that I
Great-
can,
great
but I
point.
will attempt.
Yeah, please.
It is like it's like a little play set, but instead of being something that you would imagine existing already. It is Raccoon Daddy.
You get to become a Raccoon
Yes,
Daddy.
it is the Bath Daddy set. I think
Oh, nice. Okay.
the top says both you the dad and the joy of father. It comes with a net. Catch raccoon, raise raccoon.
I mean, I guess that's a good order of operations.
Yeah.
Catch them, hug them, bathe them, love them.
Oh, that's all you really got to do if you're going to become
Wow.
daddy.
I guess so.
Thank you so much for
Let me
That's
tell
a
you.
great-
really incredible.
That's a great
I
gift.
smashed
Really?
by on that Raccoon Daddy the second I saw it. Smashed it.
Where did you come across?
Yeah, I'm
Who
curious
can say?
as well,
Some
yeah.
dark corner of the internet, the dark web is where I found that.
Oh my God. I cannot wait.
Wow.
Look at him.
Oh my gosh. It's like some assembly required as
Yes.
well.
Oh,
I'm so
excellent.
excited.
Oh my
You don't want to have no assembly
Yeah, no,
required.
I don't.
Oh
for
my
sure.
God.
Assemble.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
happy
Birthday, Melissa.
As we say. On today's podcast, not only will we be talking about whatever the heck we just talked about for the past 10 minutes, but also
Raccoon Daddy.
Raccoon Daddy was
Raccoon
heavily
Daddy.
featured. Yeah.
Yes.
Mark Rosewater, the Raccoon Daddy of magic, if you will, recently published his State of Design article for 2025, where he looks back on all of the sets they designed this year and kind of gives his thoughts on what were some successes with those sets, what were some failures, or some lessons perhaps to learn moving forward. So we're going to go through, take a walk down memory lane.
Wow. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. same.
From all the sets we've had recently, because there's been some bangers and there's been some wangers. Okay, it didn't come out how I wanted it.
I guess I want to know how you wanted it to.
Yeah.
I was just like, Maria, go
you're
with
like,
God.
Maria, you got this.
Whatever you say is gonna work out. You just have to believe. And you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have believed in myself.
Wangers.
Well, there's been, as we say, some bangers and some wangers.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna go through.
Well, this episode is off
This
to
is a normal
really,
show.
It's off to an off the
really
rails.
good start.
Now that's what I call magic, episode 657. Before we get started, which we haven't yet, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, much to your chagrin as a listener, I'm sure.
Thank you to everybody who blesses this mess every single week. Sorry, I hit Tyler in the head when I said that. Over on patreon.com/GLHF magic.
Thank you for helping us continue to live, learn, fire, marshal our way through life.
Absolutely, everyone.
It really means
yeah.
so much to us.
Truly does.
You are a gift to us. And we have some new patrons.
Yay!
We have a patron named Megan.
Wow,
Whoa.
is it you?
It's not me.
Okay, that'd be an interesting choice.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point. Megan, thank you so much, Megan. I
Thank
can't
you.
even begin to tell you how much we thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
Megan, I'll be begging for more good days like this the day you became a patron in the
yes.
future, because it's all downhill from here.
This day, Megan, you made this day so great. I hope that it happens again.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Megan.
Aw.
Excellent. You can be like Megan and become a patron from anywhere from $2 a month in our tip jar to $20 a month, where you get bonus longer episodes to listen to every single week.
Pretty good.
Where we go off on random tangents, not unlike what you heard at the start of this episode. So if that's your jam, let me tell you.
Just send those dollars our way.
Yeah, there's more raspberries where that came from. So thank you, everybody, for being patrons and supporting
You
us.
make every episode a banger,
Not
not
a
a wanger.
Let's talk about the state of design for 2025, kitty cats. What do you say?
Yeah.
Meow.
Meow.
Exactly.
Okay, so meow meow.
Two different cat takes.
Yeah,
Two different cats,
but cats nonetheless.
both
Cats
and both
nonetheless.
positive, both
Yes.
affirmative.
Both affirmative.
Yeah.
2025 as a year for magic, not done. I will say. But
True.
Wow, it is
20
exceptionally not done.
2025, infamously not done.
But a lot has happened within the calendar year, including
Hasn't there?
I
I
mean,
mean, truly.
and more to stuff into that stocking coming up.
Yes.
We've got Spider-Man yet. We've got Avatar yet. We've got is Lorwyn the first set of next year?
Yeah,
I
that's
want to
next
say
year,
okay,
yeah.
so that's not going to have to happen this year yet. Even though I'm very excited for it.
Yeah.
But a lot has happened in the last calendar year, and we want to talk about first the overall highlights of everything that has occurred. We're going to end up talking about Bloomburrow, Duskmourn, Aether Drift, Tarkir Dragonstorm, and Final Fantasy to set the stage for you. And one of the things that they took away over in Magic Land as like, hey, this is what we want to do this year, and they think that they delivered on, was making Magic sets that felt more magic-y.
Oh.
I mean, that is a good goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that I feel like Tarkir Dragonstorm, from what
Big
I've
time.
heard from people.
big
Big time
time.
magic-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tarkir Dragonstorm was so magic-y.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It was like quintessential what people are looking for out of a modern Magic set, I would say. Is like
Yes.
that's what they think of is something like
Dragon.
Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Dragons.
They want dragon.
sand. They want sand.
Yeah, they do want
Storms.
the people demand sand.
Now I can only think of do to Sandstorm song. That's all that's in my head. And to be fair, that's usually what's just playing on there and repeat. If you ever look into my eyes and I look a little empty, that's what's going
that's what's
on.
going on. Yeah,
My
it's
one
good to
brain
know.
cell is busy thinking about that song.
Yeah.
They also wanted to do some new settings. So Tarkir was a return, obviously, like Bloomburrow and Duskmourn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which were deep and immersive.
Yeah.
And I would say both of those,
Very much so.
especially Bloomburrow.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say especially Duskmourn.
I kind of was too, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
I just-
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you really, if you spent time with those cards, you kind of did feel like you were down in.
Yeah,
side of it.
exactly.
that's a
I
good
think.
point.
The cards very much evoked being there.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, especially the rooms mechanic. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
I loved it. We also, speaking of rooms, had some really great new mechanics in 2025. Gift giving, which was from Bloomburrow. Rooms, like I mentioned, from Duskmourn. Start Your Engines from Aether Drift were three that
Yeah.
were called out as like big time successes. Like these are just good quality mechanics, regardless of what you think of the set as a whole.
Yeah.
I think all
Yeah.
three of those were very good.
Agreed. Rooms.
Yeah, I would put
Yeah.
rooms at the top of that
So
list.
at the
for
top
sure.
of that list.
For sure.
Especially
in my
because
opinion.
just speaking for limited, I feel like it was the one that had maybe the most effect on limited in its
Yeah.
respective set. Because gifting was not. I mean, I don't think gifting was really aimed at limited, but gifting was definitely not
Yeah.
didn't show
Yeah.
up in limited very much. You were very rarely giving the gift to anyone in limited. I would
Yes,
say.
Wow.
accurate.
Yeah.
Maybe
Kind
that's,
of sad.
yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe that's
what does
my
that say
problem,
about limited players?
Oh,
Rough.
uh,
Rough. Speaking of limited, the last overall highlight they want to talk about was how good the limited formats were this year, which I
Yeah.
heartily agree with.
There were
Same.
a lot of bangers.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
yeah.
Not too many wangers
Yeah.
this time around.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
would say.
Yeah,
we
thank
almost
you for
got past
finishing
that,
out.
but
Yeah.
we but
Yeah,
I'm
no,
glad
I'm
that-
going to pull it
Yeah.
on back,
Roped
baby.
it right back on in there.
Beautiful.
And then the big overall lessons that they want to think about is recontextualizing tropes. Don't do straight ports. So this was something that I think they felt a lot in Duskmourn, which we'll get into a little bit more when we talk about Duskmourn. But I think people were a little bit turned off by the fact that there was some like one-to-one versions of jokes or whatever in the set with Duskmourn, as opposed to more illusions or magicked up versions of references.
Yeah, they could have been like a little bit more magicked up.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So
I do think though that, gosh, I did still really like Duskmourn a lot.
I know,
As
me
a horror
too.
fan,
Yeah.
I am not complaining about Duskmourn at all.
No.
I agree.
I'm just like, yeah, roll it back. Give it to me again.
Yeah.
I
Whereas
truly agree.
Aether Drift, I was a little bit like, Aether Drift did not have enough. Duskmourn was so internally cohesive, you know?
yes.
It was such a good, like, tight space and story and, like, world to play in.
Yes.
Whereas Aether Drift, like, all of the parts just kind of felt so scattered. They never quite
which
came together.
I mean, they literally were in
Yeah,
that
there
story
was, like,
too.
10
so it
That's
kind of
true.
makes sense.
So many
Racing
different
teams
places
or whatever.
different places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that they said is a lesson for them this year is they want to do better at supporting set themes downstream. So if they set up otters, for example, in Bloomburrow, they want them to be able to have a payoff later on in a set by, throwing you a stray otter here and there to help it be like in standard or
Please
whatever.
do.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
You can throw a spare otter our way anytime.
Yeah, truly.
standard otters, they got their day in the sun though.
I was going to say,
will
no
say.
one's saying that otters weren't around in
Yeah.
I
standard.
mean, I do think that is true as well.
The other thing they want to keep in mind moving forward, I feel like they've been saying this for a few years, which is beware of complexity creep. So Neon Dynasty, when that came out in 2022, Frank Karsten, old Frankie Numbers, on Twitter, remarked that it was the most wordy set of all time in Magic, which was then eclipsed by March the Machine, which then became the wordiest set of all time 1 year later.
Which is notable that those are now a ways in the past.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe they're doing good at reeling that fish back in.
Yeah.
That word fish.
Did they let the fish out?
Wait.
You just said it's like reeling that fish in, but you said reeling that fish back in, which makes it sound like they had the fish on the line, decided that they were just going to let it go and just like let the line go.
Yeah.
But then they were like, actually, I want that fish. Pull it back in
Which
again.
is pretty cruel when you think about it, because
Really
from what
messed
I've what I understand,
Yeah,
fish feel
they
a
do
truly
feel it.
intense amount of pain when they bite onto a hook. So
I
to
know.
keep
I
the
mean,
fish
of
on the
course
hook.
they freaking do.
But I'm saying it's like everyone knew they felt pain, but for what I understand, they've recently discovered that it's like really, really, really
Yeah, it's
awful.
just like these studies that make me so mad when they're like, oh, actually cats have emotion. And you're like, yeah, duh,
they
they
do.
do.
Of course they do, yeah.
But it's somebody had to say it in a study before y'all
And
took
they're
us
like,
seriously.
oh,
Yeah.
now we won't be mean to our cats.
Yeah, right.
So beware of complexity creep, and fish feel pain.
Yes, these are, if you can take anything away from this state of
Yes.
design, it should be those two things.
Those two things.
All right, let's dive into Bloomburrow, if you will. I want your overall
I will.
takeaways on Bloomburrow. What are your thoughts?
So cute.
Very cute.
Really cute. Limited, I got tired of pretty fast.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was I think it's fair to say that you just kind of knew what you were supposed to do when you got into a draft, and
Yeah.
which I don't always hate, but it does become a
There
little
were some
stale.
color pairs, right? Like you just didn't really. There were some color
Yeah.
pairs you just
You were
really
like,
didn't
yeah,
want
no
to be
thanks.
in.
I don't think you
Yeah.
ratted up very
Yeah.
often in
No, I
Bloomburrow,
think
blue
that's-
black rats or
yeah.
whatever.
You weren't ratting up off.
You
weren't ratting up.
off.
Yeah.
They say that world building, creative design, game design, and artwork was all a home run in this set.
So
I
much
100%
cute artwork.
agreed.
Yes.
It was wonderful too because I think the set sold very well, so that makes me very excited
Yeah, it
because
feels like a good chance that something
Yeah.
similar or that set,
Yeah.
that plane will come back in the
I
future.
can see people out there being like, "Oh, Bloomburrow, that's not it's cute animals. That's not Magic. That's not going to sell well." But they absolutely cannot say that after Bloomburrow was such a success, I think, for Magic, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They had the mechanics of Gift and Offspring, which were the headline
I did
mechanics.
like Offspring.
Offspring,
Yeah,
I
and it was
love.
very cute as well. Yeah.
So cute. We got
Loved
those
it.
adorable tokens.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
The
Yes.
little baby tokens.
Yeah.
I would say to Raccoon Daddy, Mark Rosewater, that along with the rooms, truly, I think Offspring was another great mechanic. I would put it up there right underneath rooms. I just think it was.
Yeah.
It was so adorable to have the little tokens in the pack and be able to. I don't know. I always am asking for baby creatures, and
You are
we
always
go.
asking for baby creatures,
Yeah,
and
they
this
deliver.
was baby creatures.
It delivered, yeah.
it delivered. Like
And
you
they
said,
were delivered as if they had just been born.
Born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limited was 2 on rails, which was speaking to both of your points about
Yeah.
that draft format getting a little stale a little early, which is something that can happen with typo sets.
Yeah, it's true. Which, I mean, it's fun to have it. It's so fun, the sort of like idea of, oh yeah, I've got my little army of rabbits or whatever. Like, it's very fun. But yeah, unfortunately, it just often leads to a situation in which it's a lot harder to make the things overlap in a way that's satisfying, which I think is one of the things that
Yes.
makes limited sets very good and has been one of the things they've really dialed in on in recent times.
So cute though. You
So
know?
cute.
So
So
cute.
cute.
So
I know. Typo is one of my favorite things in a limited format. I don't know if we've ever cracked it, quite honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of typo, also they noted that there wasn't enough of any one animal type to make a commander deck.
yeah,
really.
totally.
Which that's
And if
does
you're
feel
a
like
new
miss.
player coming in with Bloomburrow, which I think was happening for a lot of
Definitely,
people,
100%.
you're gonna want to do that. Like I would be like, ooh, I need to make this Otter's commander deck, and then
Yeah.
you're like, ooh,
I
actually,
want deck of mouse.
not enough.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's-
like, well,
it gets really
Well, there are ones that have other support elsewhere, but
sure,
yeah.
but
if you want to play a mouse deck, I got a standard deck for you. Well, not anymore, but I did.
Wow.
if you want to
You're
play a
just
mouse
really-
deck
you're
and
really
can
just
go back in
pulling
the
this-
past,
Really just pulling this fish in and then letting this fish
Yeah.
out and then pulling
that
this
fish,
fish back
that
in
fish
again.
doesn't know which way's
This
up
poor
or which way's
fish.
down at this point.
Poor fish.
Yeah, so I would call Bloomburrow truly a home run for Magic.
It
in
really seemed like
2025.
it was. There were so many people so excited to play it. It was
Yeah.
so cute. It was great to look at. Really good.
Sold out pre-releases left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Duskmourn, House of Horror up next.
Heyo.
Talk about a whiplash from one set to another one as far as
True.
theme is concerned.
Yeah, which I thought from like when I was just reading about it or knowing that they were coming up, I thought there was something pretty fun about that. I feel like Duskmourn didn't. I don't know the exact sales numbers, but I feel like it performed significantly more poorly than
I would think so.
than Bloomburrow did. But I did like the idea of like super cute set. Horror set, just the juxtaposition of that was
me too.
Fun for me.
But then again, we run into the issue, which is the downstream support, and like, how do you deal with that, right?
Sure.
I mean, I know we had these glimmers in Duskmourn, which was maybe an opportunity that was slightly missed that we could have expanded upon.
More,
like we had a sheep
those animals
one.
Could have been.
Yeah, but we didn't have cats or sheep in
or something.
Bloomburrow.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that maybe was where we had some issues, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. I don't think they found a way to put cute animals in Duskmourn regardless.
Yeah, they did.
That's true.
Very
and those glimmers, a lot of them really saw play. I mean,
absolutely.
Blue, was it Curiosity?
Yeah,
like
Curiosity.
That one really, obviously, took over some formats.
Yeah. Duskmourn had so much going on as a set, right? It had the enchantment sub theme.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It had rooms. It had Manifest Dread, just a strict upgrade, right? We had talked about how Cloak and Disguise were upgrades, but Manifest Dread was just the best upgrade.
Yes, it
I
was.
To Manifest.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
made
like
sense.
they gave a go at it, and they were like, never mind, not
Never
that
mind,
one.
this one's better.
Yeah.
Eerie, Delirium coming back, Impending, Glimmers, Survival, the Overlords.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I did too.
I thought it was great. It wasn't ever too much.
No,
like,
I
it didn't
never
feel
thought
like
it was too much.
to process.
It didn't feel like too much. No.
No.
I don't know when I would hit that mark, but it wasn't in Duskmourn.
No.
The big question with Duskmourn too, I mean, the horror theme, we're horror fans here.
Yeah.
I know Megan and I, would you classify yourself
Yeah.
that way, Tyler?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, great. So they were like, well, we have Innistrad, so what's the point of doing another
Sure.
horror theme set? But it was done differently enough that I think was in a very intelligent way
absolutely.
that like
This-
I'm 100% here for it.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Innistrad, obviously it's more like spooky than straight up horror for the most part, in my
Yeah.
personal
Yeah,
opinion. You know,
absolutely.
like, it's not like it definitely has that vibe, but this was full on, you're inside of a horror movie, like is how
Yeah.
Right. And Innistrad, it's Halloween. But
Yeah.
in a
Innistrad,
city.
I'm reading a book.
Yeah.
Innistrad,
that's
I'm
true.
reading a book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
A spooky book.
Duskmourn, I'm going to a haunted house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are two very different
different things.
experiences.
That is true.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
We talked about the illusions in Duskmourn being very direct. We had literally a chainsaw. We had literally a jean jacket.
I liked it.
and I'm going to tell the
liked
haters
it.
that it is great. I don't understand
It's
why
great.
people are upset about this.
Yeah,
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just let us like it.
I misspoke. I do understand why they're upset about it. It's because it's not very magic-y. It doesn't feel fantasy, and Magic is a fantasy set. But I say, that's what I say.
That's acting like there's only one definition of fantasy, though.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
Like
agree.
what? You're telling me fantasy can only be dragons and cloaks?
Yeah.
Can't wait for that set. Dragons and Cloaks.
Dragons and Cloaks.
2027.
Magic, call me. Dragons and cloaks.
Similar to my pairing of dragons and sand, I feel
Oh,
like.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
That's
Dragons
Tarkir,
and sand.
though. That's Tarkir.
Dragons
Of course,
and
yeah,
cloaks.
different,
Yeah.
but yeah.
There is so much modern horror that is really good that is people running around like combating it in jean jackets.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
And I don't understand even
That's
why
on you.
we can't. We have got this great rule set, which is Magic. And in my opinion, if we have a bunch of sets a year, what is the harm in having one that potentially steps outside of the box a little bit?
Yes.
I mean, I suppose that opinion is not shared by the majority of people that they've talked to in R&D, but that's how I feel about it. I'm
Yeah.
like, let's play in the sandbox. The world is our sandbox with Magic, and why not have a good time?
Yeah. And I guess also why, like, if you're like Magic can be so many different worlds, why can't one of the worlds look like yours?
Yeah.
Why can't your world be Magic?
Yeah, in an infinite world, if there are
In an
infinite
infinite
worlds in a
multiverse,
fantasy universe,
yes.
one of them is going to look
One of
just
them's
like
gonna
this
look
one.
like yours.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
in
true.
infinite multiverse, this podcast was the first Magic the Gathering set. Good luck high five was alpha.
What would be
does
the
that
mechanics? Like,
mean?
what would be the rules and mechanics of the game if this podcast was the game?
Oh,
I am
wow. You would still cast
terrified.
spells. You know what I mean?
I don't.
You'd
I
podcast
don't.
them.
Spells.
You'd podcast
okay,
them.
I do
Podcast
now.
spells.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, I know what you mean in the sense of the pun that you've made, but I don't know what you mean
In
at all
reality.
logistically.
I don't know what those words mean
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
The reality of those words does not exist, I will say.
But in one universe, perhaps it does.
Yeah, Duskmorn, I think how was the limited format for you, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing limited in
really
Duskmorn. Like,
liked
I
it.
felt like it was a good set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I give it a thumbs up, and haters, get out. All right. Ether Drift. This is where the haters can get back in.
Okay. Yep. All right. Haters,
Get in.
get out. Haters, get back in.
Just like that fish.
Let that fish out. Reel that fish back in.
Ether Drift focused on vehicles. A big race was happening. With the exception of the Kaladesh block, vehicles were just a supporting role in a lot of sets. So Wizards was like, what if they were the headline of a set, which I think is a very smart idea. But they ran into some problems with that.
Yeah, because I feel like they also headlined that there were animals that they were riding too that were not vehicles, which is kind of, I mean, like, obviously there was something to that on some level of having
With
the
the
mount stuff
saddle
be,
and mounts,
be featured. But I do feel like similar to what Megan said earlier, it just became so spread out
There was
and
just
thin
so
that there was no
stuff.
one thing. It was so stuff. Yeah, that's
So
very,
stuff.
very way.
There
very
was
good way of
3
saying it.
planes and 10 racing teams.
Yeah.
So
just
that's
too
a
much.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, what is the identity of that when you've done that?
And
It
who
just
cares
is
about
diluted.
the race?
And
Yeah.
I don't
No-
even
no
remember
one
what it
Literally
was
nobody
called.
cares.
Nobody did. Yeah.
And it's,
It was, I don't remember what
I
it was
don't
called either.
That doesn't bother me.
I feel like it was
just a race.
Was
Who
it a
cares?
race to the death? I kind of almost remember that.
Yeah,
was
I think
true.
it
No,
was.
there was like an actual finish line.
Okay, never mind.
But
you could also
die.
murder.
I don't know what the rules
Yeah,
were.
it seemed. People were also like, "You're telling me Magic made a race where you can just murder?
Yeah.
That's legal?"
Yeah, how
I
does
don't
the
know.
race?
Guess
Yeah,
so.
whatever happened. Yeah, that race is
exactly.
Some of those cars were made to drive over people. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
Kind of like
Exactly.
BattleBots, back in the day. And
Yeah.
once those BattleBots learned to flip, that show was done.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The BattleBots was like, I love this show so much. And then the robots were like, but what if we had a flipper on the bottom that just flipped
Flip
the other
people
over?
over.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, the format is now completely
It turns
broken.
out, like someone busted BattleBot.
They
Yes,
did, yeah.
Someone
they did.
broke
It was-
the
they broke
BattleBots
the
format
BattleBots
They broke
format, yeah.
it.
They broke it
with
wide
like
open.
a little pancake flipper.
Yeah. It was so silly. Just like flip you. I guess just flip you.
Do you think there'll ever
Get
be a
flipped.
Universes Beyond that's BattleBots themed?
Well, Richard
One can
Garfield
hope.
did design a game that was BattleBots adjacent.
Okay, so you're telling me there's a
You're
chance.
saying there's a
So you're saying, yeah.
chance. Start Your Engines happened in Ether Drift, which I happen to think was a very
That was
cool
cool.
mechanic.
It was
and
a
I
cool
loved
It was
mechanic, yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
They used it in a bunch of different cool ways.
Yes, agreed.
And it was very different for Magic. It
Yep.
was something
Yep.
very new, and I did really appreciate that.
Yep.
Much
and very
like-
flavorful. Like it
Yes.
felt like you were starting a little
Yes.
bit of a race, and then this idea of like
It
yeah.
made you play differently
It did. There was
because
a little
you wanted
mini
your
game in-
opponent to not get max speed
Yep, it
sometimes.
really did. Yeah.
When we think about sagas and rooms, I suppose, changing kind of the shape of the game because they play it on a completely different axis than normal, I think Start Your Engines is in that category. And that's
Yeah.
always what I love to see when we're innovating in sets is somewhere that attacks the game from like not on the XY axis, but somewhere off in three-dimensional space.
Nice.
So I love Start Your Engines as
Yeah.
well. So I hope we get to see it again
Yeah.
in a set where it can kind of have a little bit more of a life because people just didn't like Ether Drift. They did like the Chandra Nissa storyline,
Yeah.
them being in lesbians, but I think we just need more of that and less
Yeah.
of this race.
Less of the race.
yeah.
And no real impact on standard as well
Yeah.
coming out of Ether Drift, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. CardKingdom.com/GLHF, the place to go to buy or sell your singles.
Do you have some forgotten gems in your collection that are gathering dust at the back of your closet? Well, guess what? Card Kingdom has a list here of cards that are great in formats right now that you might have forgotten about.
Oh, that's great. That's actually very handy.
Yes, they've got Trash to Treasure in here. Do you know this card? It's a sorcery for 2 and a red, and its additional cost to play it sacrifice an artifact, return target artifact from your graveyard to play.
Yeah, I do
that
recall
seems
this.
like a good commander card.
Love that. It's a nostril-centric art as well.
Oh,
on
yes,
that
it
card.
is.
You can, of course, also already pre-order Marvel Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which has pretty much been fully spoiled at this point, or it's pretty
Yeah.
close. It was fully
it's pretty
spoiled in like
close.
one day.
Yeah.
I will say, of all the times I've been engaged with Magic, this is probably the only time when there have been spoilers happening, and I haven't just pretty much been looking at all of them all the time. Because I did reach the point where I was like, wow, there's so many cards spoiled right now that I don't even know how many there are. But Card Kingdom will tell you and
Card
sell
Kingdom
them to you.
will both tell you and sell you.
Tell you and sell you at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Get your package in one order at your door.
Hey,
Wait, your order in one package at your door. Strike
wait.
that. Reverse it. As Mr. Willy Wonka would say.
Yeah.
Thank you as well to Dragon Shield. You can check them out using the link in the show notes or below this video. They've got a set of new colors for their non-glare sleeves, including blood red, forest green, and blue.
Our favorite.
Yeah. I
Blue.
mean,
Blue.
Wait,
It's just blue.
it's just blue.
And they're fabulous for playing on camera, so stuff like Spell Table. If you're like, oh, I've got
yeah,
glare,
that
my
is a good-
friends
I
are
mean,
like, I can't see my card.
That is a good blue. You don't need to say much else about it. It is just blue. and
Good
it's
blue.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is like if I was to name this color, it would just be blue. Quite honestly, I don't know
Yeah.
what else I would. I wouldn't call it royal blue. I
No,
wouldn't
that's
call it
true.
Caribbean blue.
It's I think
Cerulean.
they spent, from what I understand, R&D wise, they spent a lot of money on that
Yeah.
specific color just to try to get it perfectly in the middle of all other
Exactly blue.
blues.
There.
Just
Just blue.
And it's wonderful. It's going to not glare your cards on camera like other sleeves will. So check them out at Dragon Shield. Plus all of the Good Luck High Five sleeves over there as well. Just search GLHF in the search bar and use code GLHF at checkout for 5% off. Tarkir Dragonstorm.
Yeah, people were
Hello.
hype for Dragons in Sand.
Yeah,
Dragons
really
in
were.
Sand. Dragons
People
in
were
Sand.
really
That's what they were saying. That's what
Classic
the
Dragons
cry,
in Sand.
The cry rang out. Dragons in Sand. Dragons in
Dragons
Sand.
in
I played
Sand.
like what 3 pre-releases for this? Is
You
that
really
what I did?
You went, yeah,
You went hard.
You went hard. You were prepared. Didn't you? You had an event that was Dragons, right?
Oh, yes,
it was
yes.
at the where was that at? Denver?
Yeah, yes, the Denver. Was that Dragons?
It was a spotlight. It was Spotlight
Spotlight,
series.
Spotlight series in Denver,
Dragons.
which
And it
was
was limited, right? Yeah.
yeah, and it was so wild. That was, I mean, the 5-color decks running around at that tournament were
Yeah.
absurd.
Cool.
Shout out to Kyle Rose at Ham TV,
Ah,
who was
yes.
the person that kind of came up with that strat. I
As
think,
he
and-
always is.
Well, he comes
you
up
know?
with a fair amount for sure.
I remember this Spotlight series because it happened like 3 days after the set release or whatever. So I was jamming pre-releases not only because the set was really fun to pre-release, but because I had to memorize these cards.
Yeah, you were like, I'm stressed about this, and what's the best way to do this is just to
play them.
around with them. Yeah, which makes sense.
And I remember just sitting there on day one. Patrick Sullivan was my casting partner, and I was like, I just looked at one of the cards on screen. I had absolutely no idea what it was. And I just looked at him and he looked at me and he's like, shrug. Like it was so new. It took a hot minute to get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with all the treatments that now exist on cards.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
We had a binder in the booth and you had to like go to the back that had all the bonus sheet printings on it. And you're just like, at that point, you just throw your hands up in there and you're like, I have no clue what that card is.
Yeah.
But it was such a fun set I think delivered totally on the theme with the flavor.
Yep.
With the wedges, Obzon, Jeskai, Sultai, Mardu, and Teemer, who all had their own mechanics as well, which I think was super smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Endure for Obzon, Flurry for Jeskai, Renew for Sultai, Mobilize for Mardu, and Harmonize for Teemer.
Yep.
I think Mobilize was like the big
Mobilize is my
takeaway from this
favorite
for
one.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. some
Mobilize
very
was the one
strong
that had
Mobilize cards.
had the most legs.
Yeah.
If you will, literally.
Also literally, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely,
that's actually
literally.
true, yeah.
It's one that I probably was like least impressed by when I saw it on paper, but then when I played with it, especially in that pre-con commander deck, it was so sweet that
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, never mind. Mobilize is great. I had to look up what Renew was. I couldn't remember because that one kind of was.
Is that the
a
one
little
where it's
sleepy.
you exile from a graveyard?
Yeah, and put counters on something or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it was a very fun 3-color set. This was they keep trying to like crack 3-color over there and be like, this time we've got it.
The first Cons of Tarkir did it.
Yeah.
Sure did.
The
I
first
guess
Cons
that's
of
kinda true.
Tarkir was. I still think about it
Still
all the
your
time.
favorite draft format,
Still
right?
probably my favorite draft format
Yeah.
of all time. It's really so good.
The issue that happened with this one was they did have the 2-brid mana, which was helping to
Yeah.
smooth mana costs in draft. But what that did is that in some cases it enabled aggro decks to be too good. So it was either red-white aggros where you were in this format or 5-color nonsense like I talked about.
Yeah.
So
the 5-color nonsense was so
it
fun.
was very fun.
Very fun, though.
I did have a good time doing that.
agree
Because
with
at least if it was kind of the thing that you sort of looked to be doing a lot of the time, but at least it was pretty different a lot of the time because you were ending up in these weird, these decks were just like, what is in my deck right now? Which it didn't feel the same every time you played it.
It felt great and sealed because if you had the
sealed.
bombs,
Wow,
you just played them.
That is true. Yeah, the fixing was very, very strong in this set.
You're like, oh, I opened this and I don't have to be sad that it's not in my deck. Put them all in the deck.
Let me tell you, I miss fixing in Edge of Eternities.
Yes,
every single time I play it, I'm like, where my common 2-color land?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing about what they've been doing lately, which is sort of saying like, hey, we're just going to give these tools to you all the time that, it's so, because it used to be that you wouldn't get 2-color lands a lot of the time, but just
most
having
of the time
them
you
for,
wouldn't.
Yeah, but then having them for such a prolonged period of time and then them being taken away, you really notice.
Yeah, you're just like, where are they?
Yeah.
I do have to say that being able to play anything, super fun and great, also had the slight drawback of the fact that when we were playing, I remember playing in the win a box events on Arena or whatever, I'm like, when are they going to play their Ureni?
Yeah.
That's basically...
you would just see the bombs, if they were there, would always
they
get
would be
played.
there. Yeah.
They'd be there.
And the one thing they said that they want to be on the lookout for from Tarkir Dragonstorm was the fact that Omens ended up looking too much like Adventures, which
the
is
number of
very
times
true.
that I would forget that I would like look at a card in my opponent's hand and I'd be like, oh, I don't want them to cast that dragon, and I'm like, they're gonna do it for the Omen first, and I'm like,
wait a second,
I forget that it goes away.
Yeah,
come back.
Yeah. It's true. It was cool. Like I liked the idea of it, and it did feel different as you were playing it, but it was so similar looking that like you just thought.
Yeah, the look was not right. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Up next, Final Fantasy.
Ew.
Now here's a banger for sure.
Yeah.
So we've had banger for Bloomburrow. Banger for Duskmourn, wanger for Aetherdrift, banger for Dragonstorm, and another banger. That's a heavy on the banger here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good ratio.
That's very good.
Good ratio of bang to wang.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
That's now been said.
There it is. Final Fantasy. I never thought a Magic set would get me to play a different game, but indeed it did.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's not nothing.
No, and I had a fabulous time doing it. It was a wonderful experience getting to know Final Fantasy VI. Highly recommend if anybody's still out there thinking about it. And it hit all the flavor notes of Final Fantasy. I mean, I know I'm a new player or whatever, but I super appreciated everything that I recognized from that game showing up in Magic.
Makes sense.
Tyler, did you ever play Final Fantasy?
I did not, no.
So you and Megan never played.
Yeah.
So how was your reaction to the set from that kind of standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. A lot of the times the sort of like flavor stuff goes a little bit over my head. Like not over my head, but I don't get into it as much. Like I I love the art of the cards. Like there's something beautiful about just having it kind of as like a background to what's happening for me. But I rarely sit down and look at a card and I'm like, oh wow, like this card.
So you're more like a this. Ben Stark who said there could just be numbers on the card and
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far because I don't feel that way. But I feel like I just want to play with the cards and then. I will say it this way. There's lots of times where it'll be like halfway through the set or even farther than that, and I'll see an image of a card and somehow look at it a different way and be like, oh, that's not what I thought was going on in that card.
Oh my God, I do that all the time.
That's very true.
Where I'm like, I thought that was a little guy.
Yeah,
and
in fact, it's like, it's a foot. Or like, I thought that was that thing's face.
Foot.
And then it's like, oh no, that's like its sword or something.
Yes,
And you're
absolutely.
Like,
Same, Tyler. Wow, I feel really... Do you know what? It's really nice to hear this. It's honestly, I thought that I was the only person who every once in a while would look at a card and be like,
wait,
say what?
Yeah.
Think about Arena. What if we could see the card bigger?
That's true. There's probably some part of it that's related to that. That might be true. But so I will say that part of it didn't speak to me that much, but also didn't bother me. There's always a few cards where I'm like, oh, I like the look of that card. Or if I really love to play a card, I might just kind of be like, oh, there's something nice about seeing that card. It brings up a little something inside of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the flavor part of it didn't affect me that much one way or the other, if I'm honest.
What about you, Megan?
Do you know what? I enjoyed it anyways.
Yeah.
I didn't need to know, right? Like, I could engage with it the same way that I engage with Magic on other cards.
Yeah.
Or like with what's on other cards. I was like, yep, look at this guy,
Yeah.
Sephiroth.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah.
He's
That's-
on.
yeah,
I
exactly.
know him from being on other cards.
Yeah, and I know him from him messing me up in
Yeah.
Limited.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I know
Oh,
him
yeah.
from his intervening. And how I appreciate it, or I
see what
really
you did
hate
there.
it, depending on which side of it I'm
it's
on.
on. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about the mechanics from Final Fantasy, the most praised ones here. Saga creatures, job select, and tiered.
I mean, the Saga creatures, obviously, A+.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
love
Like,
that.
Love them every time.
very different feeling than a saga and a creature, and somehow like
Yeah.
both of them together, you know. And yeah,
Slap
you just,
anything on a Saga, and I'm here for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just I think this one slight criticism I would have of them is some of them were just so good. Like I think they maybe turned. Speaking just for
They were
Limited,
like, it's gonna die. You can really pump it
yeah,
up.
and they maybe turned the dials a little much on like
Sure,
that
sure,
two
sure,
and a
sure,
green one that would like search up a land and then like put a counter on something and then let you draw a card. That card, like when you saw it, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
God, like unless you were playing it and then you were like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really hard. One of those things where you read it and you were like, I don't know how this is gonna play though. Like you had to play with the card to figure out what was going
Yeah.
on with it, and I love that too.
I think job select was also a home run as far as mechanics go. It was like an iteration of germ tokens from the past,
Yeah.
but just strictly
for
better.
Mirrodin or whatever
For
they
Mirrodin.
called that mechanic.
For Mirrodin! Exclamation point! It's one of those things that looks very small and simple,
Yeah.
but yet plays extremely well
Yep.
in the format. And I think the limited sets this year, this is my favorite limited format.
I mean, it was very good limited format.
Very good, very replayable. It just
Yeah.
felt like you just waded in. It was like a nice warm bath, except you never knew what color your skin was going to turn when you put your toes into the bath. Like sometimes
Yeah.
that would be like
Like
red,
a
and sometimes it'd be blue, and
mysterious
sometimes
bath
it'd be
bomb of
green.
a
Yeah,
set.
exactly. But okay, we'll stop there.
Like it was, it was really, it was so fun.
Yeah.
It was so balanced.
Nothing. Yeah, there
You
were
could play
not that
anything.
many bombs. You know, like
Yeah.
it was one of the sets recently where removal was less necessary to have in your deck. Like I think Tarkir is a great example where you just kind of needed like a minimum of like 5 or 6 pieces of removal in your deck because you just knew there was going to come a time when something was going to hit
They're
the
gonna play
board.
that, you're
If
ready.
you didn't kill it, it was just going to end the
Yeah.
game. And this set did not feel that way. Like this set really felt like it was. Yeah, there were powerful cards, but very few. You play them and it ends the game.
I've
type
got
of
to
thing.
say, I think Final Fantasy limited format was my favorite of recent memory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
fair.
sure.
I think
So-
yeah,
Really good.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. So overall, just like thinking about the negatives on Final Fantasy, I don't personally know that there was any
Yeah, you kind of just like
Huge
have to
ones.
look
Yeah, a
for
little
it.
nitpicky to
like
get
these
to. Yeah,
the ones that they list. I think are so nitpicky. Like, oh, we couldn't represent all 16 games as well as we
sure.
wanted to.
Which obviously is a
Well,
huge challenge.
That's a
in one
huge
set.
ask.
Yeah,
That's
like-
a huge ask.
it's like you're just gonna make another one. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, really, yes. Based on the dollar total
Yeah,
of
I
the
think
sales,
we're making another
there's
one.
definitely going to be another Final
Yeah.
Fantasy set. I think
Yeah,
that is
so-
safe bet.
Final Fantasy, as we've said it before on the show, it became the best-selling Magic set of all time before it was even released. So
Which is really quite a statement.
yeah, so that means like from pre-sales and stuff, everybody. So like that's unreal. It made I can't remember what we said. The money that Lord of the Rings
$200
made
million.
in like 6 months it made before it even went on sale.
Yeah.
And they said they left value on the table. So like
Yeah, they're
I'm
going to go back to that
They're
table.
going to that
They're going
table.
back to that
Yes.
table, and they're going to pick
Hey, there's
up
value
that
on that table
Yeah.
back there.
yes,
Let's go back to the
Let's
table.
go back to that table.
Yeah.
So they mentioned too, since it was a Universes Beyond, that people are still out there grumbling about Universes Beyond, which we can see.
Yeah.
We have eyes and the internet.
Yep.
What a curse to have them both.
Yeah, I know. If only we just had one or the other, everything would be great.
And let me tell you, I pick my eyes.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I think so. But look, it's here to stay. It's a huge moneymaker for them. They're not going to
Yeah.
turn away from it.
It
It's
brings
just the reality of the
players
game.
in.
It does
It
bring
brings
players in.
players
There's no
in.
question about that. I mean,
Which,
yeah.
no matter how else you feel about Universes Beyond, I think if you're not happy about more people playing Magic,
Yeah.
you are truly incorrect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're truly
I agree with
incorrect.
that.
Truly and deeply incorrect
Yes,
about that.
let's make the pool bigger and have everybody come on in and have a fun time splashing around. You know.
Yeah.
And two, when they do your thing, it's going to be the greatest moment of your life.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
It is.
That's why they should just keep releasing more and more sets so we can get that to that
So
place sooner.
everybody
you know what I mean?
can get
Yeah,
it.
like what if it was like a set a day? You know what I mean? Like think about 1 year, 365 sets. Just think
Tyler,
about it for a second.
What would be we've talked on the show about me and Megan's Peak of the Mountain for Universes Beyond. What is yours?
Ah, gosh, that's a great question. I mean, I would say as a child, it's certainly true. Star Wars would be up there for sure.
Yeah.
I think Dune would be up there for
that's
sure.
what I thought you were going to say.
Dune was very influential on me as a
We've got
child.
Sharky or Dragonstorm. I don't know what else.
Well, that's true. Dragons and sand. Why not
Dragons and
just
sand.
worms and sand? You know, like it's pretty close. Pretty close.
Yeah.
The other thing that popped in my mind just now was this. Very few people have heard of this, my guess would be, but there was a series of books called Strange Matter that was around the same time as Goosebumps.
Oh.
And it was definitely a Goosebumps.
Was it off-brand Goosebumps?
It kind of was, but it was also it's really its own thing because there was this cohesive storyline that like took place over. The books were fairly self-contained, but they would have every once in a while this bigger book that would be like a bunch of the people from all of the books previous would like get together and team up and try to save the world because it was this one town that had this weird messed up stuff going on in it. And there was some kind of
I recognize this.
The cover art is really something to behold.
Deadly
I mean,
delivery.
There was this little weird lizard creature named, I think, Relive, who was like
Buru.
That's our next patron.
Can you search that real quick? Because I'm curious.
How the hell do I spell that?
Rilo.
Okay.
Buru. I think. Oh, there it is. It's autofilled.
Oh, look at him. What a cutie.
Yep.
Rilo Buru.
Yeah, and say what. Oh gosh, yeah. See, there's a Buru is
Strange Matter number 31 was Rilo Buru's summer vacation. This sounds great.
Sounds right. Anyway, long story short, there's something that I would find very satisfying about that being made into a magic set.
Also, honestly, where's Secret Lair Goosebumps?
I mean, for
I
real,
do think Goosebumps would be
so good.
Would be a hit for
Really
sure.
good.
Night of the Living Dummy. What card is it? Stuffy doll.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I guess they already did.
They did
Chucky. Was
Chucky.
Stuffy doll,
Yeah,
so
they
like,
did Chucky.
it would make
Okay, so
sense.
never mind.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we can find another one for Night of the Living Dummy. That's not going to be hard. People object to the fact that the booster pack price is higher for Universes Beyond, which I don't know why that is. So
I think probably because of the licensing fees.
Yeah,
and because they can.
Can charge it.
because they can
And because they can.
Yeah, the answer they would give is probably licensing fees, I think, which there obviously are some licensing fees involved in this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Probably substantial.
But yeah, that is too bad. And, hopefully there's some people back there thinking about how to get it closer to normal, because that does kind of honk, as the kids might say, to have it be a higher price.
Honk.
Okay, if I say something honks, that's bad.
It's bad.
Right?
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That honks.
That honks.
Someone recently has been trying to tell me that it's a positive, and it's just not.
Who?
It's just not.
Yeah, please dox
wanna
this
know.
person.
So you want me to dox?
Yeah.
Dox
I want you to
this-
say their name and
dox
their
the person
address,
who's wrong.
basically whatever information you have about them.
Yeah,
I want to
give
give you. Yeah,
Give
even
us all of the details.
Yeah, it's like name, information as far as address and phone number,
Yeah,
and also
okay.
any stories,
Birthday,
any
social
stories that you
security
have,
number.
and any stories you have about them.
The truth is that it's my husband, Will, who's been on this podcast
Maria, I'm
before.
going to tell you something, which is that as soon as you said that someone was trying to convince you that it means the opposite, I knew who it was.
Of course.
I knew
mean,
the answer. I wanted to hear it, but
He is a great, a great contrarian.
Yes,
like
indeed.
He loves that. He loves to be in that spot.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm the opponent in the ring.
it honks.
It honks is bad.
Yes, honks is like why would that be good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would it
But
be
it
good?
was, but he got fuel in his fire recently because the podcast that we both happened to listen to, one of the hosts said honks as meaning positive.
Oh no.
And I was like, no.
You need to put a quash
Stop
on
to
that.
that,
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's definitely bad. And please, listeners, sound off. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong here?
No.
Because I'm feeling gaslit. Which is a saying in our household. We like to gaslight each other for fun.
Wait, I don't know. Wait, is that the saying? We like to gaslight each other for fun, or
Yeah.
is gaslight? Oh, that's the saying.
Yes, but also the act of gaslighting.
Is the saying? That's where I got a little confused.
Anyway, the point is 2025, a year of bangers, not too many
Yeah.
wangers in Magic.
yep.
So far,
Pretty good.
Yep. High bangers, minimal wangers.
yeah, and we've got two sets left coming out,
Yeah.
both Universes Beyond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm going to be real with you, I wish it was one Universes Beyond and one Universes Within.
I agree.
Yeah, that would be nice.
The one that
Though I guess we do get a Universes Within on Arena.
For Spider-Man. Yeah.
So
it's gonna be
my
so awkward.
God.
It's gonna be so awkward.
Madam Web is going to be called Mistress Silk.
Mistress Dust.
Arachnid.
Mistress Silk.
I like
It's
that
one of
too.
my favorite games to think of what the cards are going to be called on
Yes.
Arena. Because it's just like Thwip is just called Stick.
I was gonna say
Schmop.
Sheep, 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 sheep. How do you spell that?
SH.
There's a P in there. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely a P in there.
SSHHPP SSHHPP.
Okay,
Ship,
ship, ship, ship, ship, ship, ship. Yeah. Okay, great.
It is satisfying to say.
And of course, once a year rounds out our end of the year episodes where we go back and talk through all of the Magic sets
Yeah.
and the mechanics and stuff is still, of course, on the table. Well, we get to talk about both Spider-Man and Avatar coming up later this year. But a
Wow.
fantastic year all around
Yeah,
so far
it's
for
been a good year.
Magic.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Now that's what I call music episode 657. It's coming to an end. We've been DJ Maria Monroe, Millsy, and Mega Wolf here hanging out with you.
Excuse me, DJ Little Pause.
I'm sorry,
right.
Little Pause.
Thank you.
Little Pause is with us
Little
in the studio
Pause.
today. I'm trying for the life of me to remember the station that why it's not coming to me. I don't know, but it was
When you were
called
in
The
college?
Mix. Hold on, it's coming back to
All
me.
right, please.
Mix 108.
Oh, nice.
That's where it
Wow.
was. Mix 108. And
It's way up on the dial, man.
yeah, those Sunday night errands. I was your gal behind the mic. And we're here we are, the three of you, the three of us.
Wait, who are you in this equation?
Here we are, the three of you.
I like to think that you transcended time and space there for a minute. Like you reached a state of true enlightenment, and like it was not like you were us and
my
we
God.
were you. You know, like so
Yeah.
you didn't have a good way of saying it.
Here we are, the three of us, back behind the mic,
Uh-huh.
much like at Mix 108. R.I.P. I actually don't know if it's still around. It might still be. Are you from Duluth? You can tell me.
I guess it's got. I guess to you it's dead. So
Yeah,
that,
that's true.
That it might as well be. I guess is what you were saying. All right.
Thank you to Card Kingdom. Thank you to Dragon Shield. Thank you to our patrons. Thank you to new patron Megan. You can join her on patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Get a pun shout out based on your name and support art by content creators that you love.
And get to hear a conversation that we're about to have right now.
Yes.
Producers, stick around for your extended episode. What are we going to talk about?
We'll find that
We'll
out.
find out.
What are you three going to talk
What
about?
are you three?
What are you three going to talk about? Wild.
My body. I was like floating
Yeah.
over us.
Look at you three.
That's really
Oh my God.
magic.